Hi, I'm Amit, and today we're going to talk about a place where you spend many hours every day. Some of you may be spending that in the bathroom, but hey, I'm talking about social media here. According to 2019 statistics, we Indians on an average spend about 2.5 hours on social media. Hey, but that was 2019. Post the pandemic and with this whole work from home situation, we started spending about 4 hours every day on social media. So let's get to know this place a little better. What are the good things about social media? Well, of course, you can connect with your family, friends, you can sometimes even connect with long lost friends, right? And yes, every time one of these friends likes, comments, shares on your post, gives you a little bit of a kick, some boost in confidence. That's good, right? And of course, friendship, social media friendship. So yeah, you also get to meet like-minded people. You often sort of trade opinions on Twitter, Facebook, and you get to know people who are like you, and sometimes also some people who are not like you, and obviously you tend to ignore them. Yeah, so those are the good parts about social media, but there are a lot of downsides. What are these downsides? Of course, first and foremost, we've lost the art of conversation, a face-to-face conversation, right? When was the last time we picked up the phone and called a friend? Even forget about a face-to-face conversation, a deep, long conversation. We are so comfortable hiding behind texting these days and being anonymous that we're losing that human touch. But hey, that's more phone usage, that's more texting. What about social media per se? Well, the same likes, comments, and shares that you get on social media that boost your confidence, make your day, make you feel wanted, appreciated, etc., etc. What if on one of your posts there were fewer likes than usual? There were no comments. There were no shares. Ooh, creepy. You start to sort of doubt yourself. Was my post not good enough? Of course, you're also simultaneously looking at picture perfect lives of others on Facebook and Instagram. Everybody's living fabulous lives. On LinkedIn, everybody's successful. That puts a lot of pressure on us to be like them, to be as cool and successful as them, doesn't it? So there are a lot of mental health related issues we are talking about here, right? There are some other downfalls as well. So that's one part of the story. The other part of the story is that we then start also interacting, like I said, with people who are like us and think like us, who opine like us, and we start to ignore people who have a different voice. And we get into these silos and we start operating in smaller groups. We make fun of WhatsApp uncles, don't we? WhatsApp uncles, WhatsApp aunties. Hey, some of us are just cooler versions of them on Instagram and on Facebook and on LinkedIn and Twitter, right? The fact of the matter is that we are getting broken up into groups of people who think a lot like each other to an extent that it's some sort of, it would not be a stretch to say this, extremism, right? It is not a coincidence that over the last 10, 20 years, 10, 15 years, a lot of elections have seen social media spending. Politicians know this, okay? Politicians target people who think in a certain manner, they sell themselves to you, and they get your vote. Much like companies, by the way. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, all of them are observing what you like the most and showing you repeatedly things that are your preference. They're actually pushing you further into silos. Companies, marketeers, advertisers are then trying to sell you a particular product that you would like. Okay, how often have you had this conversation with your friend that, hey, you know what, I'm looking for a car and I'm thinking red car, SUV, and then boom, there's a notification, there's an ad in Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you go, YouTube, you're seeing red SUVs everywhere. Well, that's not a coincidence. They are listening. Everyone's listening. So there's no privacy left anyway. Now, the issue with this kind of grouping and silos is that you then become a little more close-minded, and you think of your opinion and people like you, their opinion to be the absolute truth, and just keeps getting worse. I mean, it won't be, again, a stretch to call this a cult following, right? That's what's started to happen all across the world, not just in India. Now, this can also manifest itself into some kind of civil unrest, like the violence you saw at the US Capitol a couple of weeks, was it a month ago, right? Because there are these supporters of certain politicians, of certain ideologies that start to think that the entire world is like them or should be like them, and that's a very, very dangerous thing. But how do you prevent this from happening? How do you prevent this from happening to yourself? Well, there are ways and means. They are tough, but then not impossible. To start off, start limiting your social media usage. How do you do that? First things first, stop notifications, right? You don't have to know every time every friend likes or shares or comments on your post, right? You're in other part of the room, there's this ping, and you're just drawn into it at that very instant. You don't need to do that, right? So you can turn off notifications. That will at least allow you the flexibility that whenever you want, you're going to the phone rather than the phone calling out to you. Second thing that you can do is monitor your time on the phone and on the social media, right? So I downloaded this app and I was amazed to see how much time I was spending on WhatsApp and Instagram. And then I set myself small goals. If I was spending 45 minutes, bring it down to 40, then to 35. Achievable goals, that's something that all of us can do. Lastly, to prevent ourselves from getting into these cults, it's important to make friends outside of like-minded people. Get to know people, listen to people who have a different opinion of things from the way you have them, right? Who are leading different lives, who are leading lives differently. Listen to them, okay? It's not necessary that you agree with them or they agree with you. You can both agree to disagree, and that's fine, right? That's a good place to be. But at least you will know that there is a counter side to it. There's a different logic to the same thing, and that's a much more healthy debate and conversation and a healthier society, so that we can all live in better harmony, right? So let social media not divide us. Let social media not invade our privacy too much. Of course, you can't stop it beyond a point, but at least we can limit these things, right? That's the moral of the story. For more, you can always look up the documentary The Social Dilemma on Netflix. Signing off.